Hey, what's good, man? This your boy BlkTyLive checking in. What's good? So we're gonna go over some League of Legends patch 26.15 notes. They're kicking off season 3. Ranked, I believe, starts at probably 12 today. So I'm interested to see. So they say welcome to patch 26.15 in season 3, where Belva and the Empress Void have some changes she'd like to introduce to you, starting with her patchwork update that leans into evolution fantasy. Permanent alt form. That looks like that's gonna be tough. They got some nerfs, looks like Locke, Nafari, Riven, Silas, and more will be getting some nerfs. Uh and some buffs to the tanks. Now y'all know I love to play support differential, so I'm all for the tank buffs, man. They got a few different things that they got for Aram, Mayhem, and arena changes. Now, look at the nerfs. Some of the highlights look like they nerf Lock, Mordekaiser, bro. Mordecai's up. GG's. Nafari, Riven, Silas. He already steal your alt. Bruh. Bus looks like Alistar, Kesai, Maokai, Volibear, and Zach. And then Belvin gets adjusted. So League of Legends Classic, the older game mode is coming to a server near you. Relive the glory days with League Classic. Marvel at what passed for modern graphical fidelity in the 2010s. Outplay your opponents with point and click stuns and using old items like Heart of Gold. Classic features 60 champions using classic versions of their gameplay across leagues' early history and is an experience that emphasizes strategy over mechanics and stronger consequences, both positive and negative for your actions. I definitely want to check that out and see because why not? Season 3 starts at 12 p.m. on July 29th, your local server time. Victorious rank mission, 15 rank games ones will be refreshed with season start, and end of season 2 rewards will be distributed shortly after season 3 start. Shard transfer service will be temporarily off until season 2 rewards are granted. Ages of Valor has helped make autofill games feel worth playing out, but its lost protection and mastery requirement created a secondary objective. Play for the grade, not necessarily for the win. That's the opposite of what a ranked ascendant should ask of you. We want every ranked teammate to share the same goal, which is trying their very best to win the game. We're refocusing Ages entirely around victory. It will no longer reduce LP losses in the case of defeat, and wins will award double LP without requiring minimum mastery score. Apex duo restriction, master players will now be able to duo, but only with players close to them in rank. Bro, I've played some players, and sometime, man, I think what was yesterday I was playing, we had 5 bot, and the jungler was they started out 5 in bot, and then it was 3 the entire time in bot. And my jungler was getting the dragons, getting his buffs, and they just pushed us all the way back and ended up winning the game in probably about 12 minutes. They just scaled crazy. You got Jinx and Pike, and they were just and Darius just terrorizing bot lane. So for Alistar, ever since the loss of mobility boots, symbiotic souls, Alistar has felt constrained in his gameplay to the point he's failing to compete in the current meta, even though it favors Roman supports, a space we expect him to sell in. His base stats, his move speed increased from 330 to 335. That should be cool. Belva, this patch they're launching a set of Belva changes that are aimed at making her gameplay pattern a bit less focused around her early game in order to allow her to fulfill some of her fantasy as a late game scaling champion. The major changes they're making is with her Q at early levels function more like a regular dueling ability in order to reduce just how heavily she could put certain champions behind with early invades. Yeah, so base stats look like attack speed. They taking that down. The ratio has been down. Her damage, she been hit. Um, the armors, she's taking the tank, but her growth is going up. The health has went down. Her health growth scaling overall, and the model size down to 95%. Bevel is wild, man. The passive looks like it's 20% for 3 seconds. the maximum attack speed is 2% max. Point 0.1 minimum to 2% max. When she R, it's over with. Her speed is tough, man. Who I'm interested in to see Lock, y'all know he was gonna take a hit. Lock, all his abilities is crazy if played right. Mordecai, that's why we're here, man. So Mordecai has gradually faded out of both top and jungle play since our last major work on him. We think that ultimately his top lane experience is not the greatest for all parties involved. So for now, they mainly focus on buffing his jungle backup, where we think he has a fairly unique output as a zone controlling tank. Q, Bramble Smash, monster damage modifier, look like it's going from 140 to 150, and it's increasing 10. His ability power ratio went from 40% to 50%. That's with Q. Mordekaiser, they going down. The Death Grasp, they cooling it down. Look like they dropping it 2 at each level. That E, GG's. Realm of Death, stolen stacks 13% to 10%. Fix the bug will alternate target with health above their post reduction max HP will lead to increased damage up to double. I would get shredded sometimes playing the tank. Nefari, his R, the caller of the pack, it looks like they're going from one plus 120% attack damage. Okay. Riven, they cooling her crazy behind off of 25 bonus attack to 20% win slash. Silas, his Q chain slash is going plus 40% ability power from 45%. Volibear, they dropping everything down. Looks like two, sometimes a little more because we know he can get crazy. Zach, unique gameplay and class diversity to the jungle. His armor growth is going up. His elastic slingshot, it dropped just a bit, but they boosted up. Bastion Breaker near the bottom pick rate. I don't think I ever used this, man. We're making it both more accessible and slightly stronger on its less noticeable effect because we find that lethality users putting more that go into utility and progressing the game is healthy in the long run. I have to look at that. 30 plus 150, 50 plus 150 true damage. Terminus is meant to be one of the premium capstone items for on scale and on hit builds, but has been more of a mid game spike. So it looks like shadow damage is going up plus 10% bonus attack damage and plus 10% bonus ability power. I like it. Yuta Y hours. This is one that I did want to try. They dropping the cost down and they taking the speed up, right? I believe it's gonna be good, so I'm definitely gonna try that. Jack of Trades, different stat lines are much more accessible with items like Endless Hunger, Glutinous Greaves, D-Ham. Even though we love players shooting for creative builds to utilize Jack of all trades, it definitely has room to be weaker both early and late game while still giving tons for your buck. So the adaptive force at 5 to 10 stat rate points 10 to 25 and then 8 to 20. That look like that'll be it for right now, man. So let's go ahead and jump in. Thank y'all for tuning in.